What's up, mortgage coach community? Dave Savage coming to you live with Chris Hallow out of Arizona. Are you in Flag? Are you where are you at in Arizona?
Up north. We're the pine trees and mountains and ski resort, Arizona, not the cactus and desert, Flagstaff.
Yeah, I should remember that from our last interview. I thought it was down, it was further south, but no, it is north. Got to go north for the trees in the mountains.
Yep.
So, dude, I loved our last interview, and we touched on the fact that you call them Zoom and Learn with events with realtors. Is that what you call them?
Well, we call it a mastermind. It's our monthly mastermind that we've been doing since 2012, consistently for 10 months. We skipped November and December with the holidays, but yeah, 10 months out of the year, do a monthly mastermind. It was always a lunch and learn, like actually buying them lunch and learn mastermind. But since COVID, we're keeping people safe, and now it's a Zoom meeting.
Nice. Well, nice way to adopt to the virtual economy. How is your production right now, and what kind of loans are you doing right now? And then we'll get into the mastermind.
Yeah. So I mean, we're cranking just like everyone else. We're taking what we can get right now. So yeah, right now we have just about 51, 52 loans in the pipe for September, just my team. That's me and two assistants. And so we're trying to keep up. Honest mix is like 35% purchase, 65% refi. So it's interesting stuff there, and hopefully we'll see. We hope to close the year out maybe under or over six figures on the total volume. But yeah, lots of families to help.
So over 100 million, and how many families served? What do you think the number of loans is going to be?
Right now we're about 300, 320 with what we got in the pipe there.
Well, congrats, Chris. I've interviewed you multiple times since you were new in the business. At one time you were a production assistant, creating TCAs for a team, and it's awesome watching you grow into a team leader and doing the kind of production you're doing. So congrats, brother. And you're branch manager now too, right?
Yeah. So for the last almost 2 years now. So it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. Well, congrats on your growth as a professional and as a leader in the mortgage space. So let's break down these lunch and learns that you're doing with Zoom, with realtors. Walk us through how are you doing it?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is the consistency on a team level, that they're happening, right? I think that's the big thing is just that these are happening every, about 2 weeks before the invitation goes out. My team has that dialed. We use some of our administrative staff outside of our team as well to help with that, but the invitation's going out. A lot of times we're announcing topics. Sometimes we're kind of leaving that open just because we try and keep them very, very current. And then it's basically right now it's an hour on a Wednesday, an hour Zoom meeting that we're putting together.
Every Wednesday. I mean, it's or not every Wednesday, but once a month.
Monthly. So it's typically this third Wednesday of the month, right? So third Wednesday of the month from January to October. And then we do more holiday and co-branding stuff later in November, December. But yeah, an hour's worth of instruction, and we'll cover anything from really heavy what's happening in the mortgage industry, guideline changes. We'll cover marketing aspects of different ideas on how people can be utilizing different tools. One of the ideas, real quick, just on that one is when as we were seeing price points go up quite a bit, but rates were, and we're kind of in that market again, but I know it was like a year ago, wasn't it, Dave, that the seller buy down was a big thing. That seller buy down, you guys have a seller buy down tool, and we were using Mortgage Coach to tell our realtor partners, here it's batching, right? That's what it is. It's a matter of saying we're all very busy. They're very busy. So instead of me doing, we're getting typically, 15 to 20 right now in the digital, it's more about 15, but typically 15 to 20 of our realtor partners into this. And that's a lot of hours if I was individual with each one of them. But if I can batch it and tell them all about some great tool like a seller buy down, or all about opportunity cost of market or move up buyer opportunity, and then using Mortgage Coach to help illustrate those, it's been an extremely valuable tool.
So you're getting 20 to 50, like you are getting up to 50 people?
15, 1-5.
Oh, 15.
1-5.
Okay.
So 15.
Wow.
For Kevin, maybe not that.
Got it. 15 to 20.
15 to 20.
And how many are you inviting?
So our invite list is about 40. So we do have a little bit of rotation on that. And some of it's kind of, I use it as a value added tool in the market, where a lot of it is people that we have strong partnerships with. Some of it is like the occasional partnership. And then some of it is that we're wanting to create partnership and value. And so I try and keep that list pretty thin. I go through it every year and reinvite and make sure that there is some interest. So I'm not spamming people, and try and keep it relatively exclusive. But it's a good opportunity because we're batching that I'm okay having one person, a couple agents in there that I'm slowly trying to build a relationship with, even though it's maybe not this massive, it's not like I'm sitting down face to face with some of my dedicated partners who I'm giving the most value to and giving the most value back.
What about the invite? What does the invite say? And do you have to be thoughtful about some realtors competing with each other, and you don't want to have two people that, I don't know, they're realtor enemies or too competitive?
Yeah.
How do you handle competitiveness, and what does the invite look like?
And so the invite's very, very simple. I mean, we do an email invite. We're not like, going and creating flyers with marketing or anything crazy. It's just basically it confirms, they've already, let me see if I have it here. I don't know if I have some of these here. Have done more. Oh shoot, here I'm digging into my whole drawers here. I gotta have one of these somewhere here. Give me some patience for just a second. We have done in the past an annual invite with, oh shoot, this would be really cool if I can find them. I should have thought of this before you came. But we've done an annual invite where we actually print off, going through all my drawers here. Oh, here we go, perfect.
Oh, you did get one, all right.
We printed off like a VIP backstage pass with all the dates, kind of like a tour. Right. So we printed those off, handed those out to brokers, and it's something that I've actually gone out to brokers as well. We keep it RESPA compliant, so we're not just targeting who sends us business, but we go to the brokers, and sometimes have offered certain years. We've offered like 2 exclusive passes to certain production level realtors that we might not even have a relationship for if they just find value, and we've grown and created some relationships that way as well. So then they have the invites, the dates up front annually, but then on the month email, it's very simple, just a reminder of the RSVPs. We found with Zoom, I found it more effective. We tried to say, hey, RSVP, and then we'll send you the link just to try and create some commitment. Not as good. It didn't go out as well. So we've just basically said, hey, here's the Zoom link. Hope you can make it. And that's worked a little better for us.
Got it. And that makes sense, because they don't want to commit, and then if you just let everybody know, and you're always getting, it sounds like, at least 15 to 20 people, and then give us kind of the format. It's an hour long. How much of it is you talking? How much of it is them talking? And then give some idea on kinds of topics you're sharing.
Yeah, and that's also changed digitally. All right, when we're in there face to face, we'd have a lot more group discussion going on. And I'm doing survey, asking questions, asking them to mastermind. That kind of comes back to I didn't answer your other question about competition. There's certainly some realtors I work with that don't like that format, because they are very, they don't like to be, with other realtors as well. I mean, it's ego or they say whatever, right? And we'll do some one-on-ones, if they're high value partners of mine. But the rest are, we have a relatively small community. And the fact of the matter is there's so much real estate selling that if they're coming together and helping each other to learn and to understand things, then if they're on the buy side and the sell side of a deal together, they're going to understand how each other work, feel. It's great networking for them as well. So we have a very diverse group of brokerages, and I think it just speaks to the caliber and the quality of the people that we're inviting, that they're open to that.
Well, I think everybody listening to this, there are going to be some realtors that don't want to do it for competitive reasons. There's going to be realtors that they don't like to network, but there are going to be realtors that are successful doing business, that want to network. And so I think that's super cool that you're providing that venue for the realtors that want to do that. And clearly for, target agents that are doing the kind of volume you want to engage, you're going to engage with them anywhere and everything. And you can even bring them takeaways from the mastermind. So the thing I love about this is, anytime you get a group of great people around, even if you're leading, you're learning. When you learn something so well that you lead, you get better, you're getting value from them, and then you have something to bring back to other agents. So, I absolutely love the idea of doing a monthly mastermind with agents. I would love to hear more Mortgage Coach members. If you are doing that, let me know. I want to hear what you're doing. I want to hear how you're doing it. Let's talk about if you integrate Mortgage Coach or how you integrate Mortgage Coach into your Realtor masterminds.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm like answering a question behind as well going forward. So, so just like you said on topics, I mean, we'll do everything from what's happening in current events with like right now. This last month, we covered what FHFA is doing and how that's really impacting the market. And going, I like to take it a little further than they feel comfortable. Right? They don't know. They recognize. Okay, Chris is giving me some tools, but I realize I need to get my clients to him because he understands this better than I do. Right? So we try and explain that to him, and then we're using. So in that example of talking about what the FHFA was doing, we shared a timeline of events so they can know, okay, here was the early August shift with the September 1 due date, and now here's the December shift, and now here's the G-feed conversation, and then showing them the mortgage-backed security market. And that's all great, but I'm getting a lot of blank stares, right? And on Zoom, they participated even a little less. There's that digital connection there. I mean, I do some surveys through Zoom and get some participation that way. The dialogue back and forth is not as great, but then I'm able to use Edge and pop in and really quantify that and say, okay, if all this is happening and G fee increases and different things potentially happening, the Fed starts stepping back and really explain that and let them see the bars on just markets, but then shift into a mortgage coach analysis and then show, all right, here's a luxury home purchase at 0.25% higher over the next, we talked about it being the boiled frog effect. It's going to be poisoned by degrees where 6 months go down a quarter, 6 months go down a quarter, and 6 months and say, okay, 18 months from now, let's say we're 3/4 higher. How much is that net worth impact and the monthly budget impact to your luxury buyer? And then we quantify, the last 20 minutes of me speaking about FHFA and the big, the Fed and everything.
Got it. So you're really using Mortgage Coach to bring some of those things, those concepts down to real world. And, whether it's renting
tangible
versus owning, you can show the real world wealth benefits of owning versus renting. If it's a move up, you could show, look at the value of move up. Do you have any people that are looking for move ups? Is there a TCA or anything that you could show us right now that you've used in a recent mastermind that would help take a concept and put it into Mortgage Coach in a way that you're doing it within your masterminds?
Absolutely. It's very simple.
Share your screen.
Yeah, it's very simple. I'll preface this, your mortgage coach community is going to look at this one. This isn't like the most guru approach, but it's simple. And I think a lot of that is, as I'm sharing this here, a lot of that really just comes down to, us being on the same page with our realtor partners. They're so busy in their profession and we're so busy in ours that sometimes they just don't connect those dots. And this is just a very, very simple, I said, this is not the rocket science, most guru approach to solving all the world's problems, but just showing, okay, current market on a jumbo loan, 0.25%, 0.5%, 0.75%, not even addressing any price changes. Because I did survey, I did survey the group and say, okay, who's thinking, using Zoom surveys and things, who's thinking that I love to ask these questions almost consistently with my mastermind group on, are we going up, above 3%? Are we 0 to 3% depreciation? Are we 0? Are we flat? Or are we depreciating? And so the group, using that group survey and then kind of getting their knowledge on what's happening in market in certain quartiles, then I translate that into here. So most of them were kind of saying, okay, jumbo market fairly flat. So that's what we kept. I'm editing this live with them to be able to say, okay, let's keep that purchase price flat off of your advice. But here's then my predictions or potential, right, on what we want to hedge against, and then that 0.25% increase. And the big one here was just crazy when you look at, and I did, that jumbo buyer, I did keep to your standard. I know you gave me some flack for it last time, kept to your standard, 60 months on the orange bars. They might move and shake a little bit more with the selling, buying, but in those green bars, 15 years, showing them $100,000 worth of net worth in the next 15 years versus pushing that luxury buyer to buy now versus wait, very, very impactful.
Yeah, so just putting context around this, guys, it's just great leadership to show this to realtors, let them see that you've got a pulse on the market. You can take national trends, global economic issues, and if rates do go up, this is what the impact is going to be to your buyers, so that then they have this data. If they're trying to create urgency, if they're just trying to provide education, they can let people know that, hey, if rates go up 0.75%, which they will do someday, I think that's going to be a while, but it's just giving them the numbers and it's putting it in a real world format. Do you ever take a success story where you helped a family, whether it was a rep versus own, some strategy and just tell a story and a strategy and use a TCA to help visualize and tell that story? Have you done that before?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know the exact client off the bat right now, but to pull that same TCA up, but I know about 4 to 5 months ago when COVID was really hitting and we were really starting to hit the refi boom, I felt it was a powerful way to be able to talk to that same realtor base as saying, this is a conversation point. If everyone's scared of purchasing right now for a moment, and there was kind of a brief moment and the purchase market just went crazy. But if everyone's scared of purchases right now, at least reaching out to your clients, talking to your past database to create value to them and talking to them about refinance is hugely important. And I shared a lot of TCAs to talk with them about clients who were saving $300, $400 a month, debt consolidation, and that type of thing, to where I was able to help add value to my realtor partner while also supporting the refi business and just the value that was there. And so that was definitely something that they can then see and quantify, because they know, hey, I sold that house to that client that we know has appreciated. They know they can get out of MI. So yeah, absolutely.
So guys, you should absolutely have a strategy like this that Chris has, showing the impact of rates going up. We call it a cost of waiting analysis. There's a lot of versions of it. This is Chris's version. Chris, if you don't mind forwarding a link of that, we'll put it down below. Sure. You should absolutely have a rent versus own analysis at a couple different price ranges, that whether you do it on your next Realtor Zoom and Learn meeting or not, you should do that sometime over the next year. And you should absolutely have a move up story, because let's face it, realtors want to add value to their clients. And while they may not have a lot of clients that are looking to move up, they've got a few clients that are thinking about moving up. So this story from Amber Kovarik, where she had a client that came to her to refinance, they were able to save $322 in refi, but they were in her market. She's in Chandler, Arizona, and she says about 20% of my families that are doing refis want to move up. Chris and I talked, and we prepped earlier on. He's like, that's not happening a lot in my market. Different markets have different levels of move up, but I'll bet you, Chris, when you think of all your realtors, some of your realtors have move up buyers that are in that sweet spot, sure, that want to move. So tell a story. Hey, tell your realtors, if you know anybody that's thinking about moving up.
We have for sure.
Yeah, I can net it out for them. And in this particular case, this client had equity, which, by the way, a lot of people have equity. So Mortgage Coach helps you account for that equity. You could either sell your home or buy your new home, sell your home, and then recast your mortgage. So if they have equity, there's a recast that can take place, or they could take that money and invest it and become more liquid. And let's face it, guys, during COVID times, there's a lot of families that would love to get to that, get the next home, put some of that money in the bank, improve their liquidity. In this particular situation, I mean, this is a home run. Amber should be doing masterminds with the realtors and saying, hey, we helped a family go from, I'm thinking about refinancing, to an extra $100,000 in the bank, almost $400,000 in increased equity over 15 years. They got the home they wanted. And guys, the realtor got a listing and the realtor got a move up buyer. So I definitely think that's a strategy that if you are doing these Zoom and Learn events with your agents, you should just have rent versus own, cost of waiting, move up. What would be another one, Chris? Any other Mortgage Coach strategies that you think would be good to have if you're going to be doing a Zoom and Learn event?
Just thinking real quick here. And I was just going to say, and add to it with and I send those links out, I send the goodies. I used to do a Dropbox share. So a little pro tip, people weren't going into the Dropbox. And so I find I push it harder. So it's just, I email them the goodies, right? And I email, what I've started to do is I email out anyone who attended. So like we said, I have a little bit larger group that I'm inviting. I email out those who attended, they get them same day. And then to add value to the group, they'll get some of those goodies about a week later. I can't think off the bat, so get this. So a couple other fun ones that we've done is really attacking, that right now it's just a bloodbath in that first time home buyer. And a lot of realtors that are working to serve them don't understand the implications of some of those offers. So we pull up a Edge and our Mortgage Coach, and then we're doing a USDA loan because we have some rural area around us. We're doing state-funded down payment assistance programs, and then the VA to show how these compare and show how the mortgage insurance changes and how the rate impacts some of those state-funded programs that have higher rates. Are they really the best deal for the client, or should they be asking family for a gift? So we've done definitely a lot of that so that they can serve both that luxury market that I just showed you on the move up, but really helping them understand. All right, don't just start promising everyone zero down. What are they actually getting into? What areas of town? And then how does that look to the client on what they need to have, maybe with their own closing costs or that type of thing?
I like that. That's smart. I can't remember. Oh, it was Catherine Peterson. She is in a market in Colorado. God, I can't remember the city, but she does that. And she makes that part of all her realtor events where she talks about different types of programs they have. What about a Facebook group? Do you have a realtor Facebook group?
No, nope. Learning something new from you every day.
You should do that. Well, you didn't learn it from me. I interview a lot of top producers, and there are a lot of top producers that are getting their own realtor Facebook groups. And knowing that you have this weekly mastermind thing, I am going to push you to do it, because that would also be a great place for you to deliver the content. Like in our Facebook group, there's a file section. So for all the PowerPoints and the things, you could push it into there. You could make infographics. Those could be in the photos. You could put the mortgage coach link in there, and then you could create engagement and value after the actual virtual event in the Facebook group. I mean, that's one of the reasons why our Facebook group is so popular, is because I do a Friday mastermind. I mean, every single week I'm doing it, and then I'm driving a lot of engagement and a lot of value. This call right now is being streamed into our Facebook group. So you could use Zoom. There's a Zoom audience. And then if someone doesn't want to be in Zoom, like some of your realtors that maybe they don't want to come in and tell what they're doing, but they want to hear what everybody else is doing, they could actually watch it in the Facebook group. So there's an idea for you, bro.
Yep. No, I love it. I got to push myself, certain areas I run at, but social media and I are a love-hate relationship. So I got to push myself there.
Well, you got a team member, right? So just figure out someone on your team that you say, hey, you're going to be the captain of our realtor Facebook group. Who's going to set it up and everything. So cool, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you making time to come into the community and share one of your top secrets. If you wouldn't mind sending, I'm going to put this on our YouTube channel. There is a Facebook audience, but we'd love to get a picture of, I don't know, the email you're sending, the invites. I know that the community is going to ask for stuff. So if you wouldn't mind just taking either pictures or sending PDFs of anything that's involved in inviting the realtors. We'd be cool with that?
Yeah, sure. Pretty simple.
Cool. And then if you could send me the TCA, just so we have an example of that. Any last words of wisdom or any closing thoughts for the mortgage coach community before we wrap it?
Yeah, I just think it's data creates decisions. Again, it's starting about 2 months ago now, where we started, you and me just conversing a little bit this summer on, I was thanking you for mortgage coach tools that were driving, especially our refi, because there's giving so much simple data in such an understandable form that it was driving decisions. So when we can sit and talk with our realtor partners to provide mutual data, because we don't understand everything in their industry and they don't understand everything in ours, but we can mutually help give the client the right data too, to be making decisions.
Love it, dude. Data drives decisions. And when you present it in a way that's comprehensive, it really helps. It helps you go faster. It helps your clients make better decisions. Chris, you the man, dude. Appreciate you. Take care.
Dave.